And I'm back with another game. This is again the team with more than 3 players. They're playing a 4 versus 2 now, so as this is a ridiculous matchup, I'm gonna take my cap instantly. And I start a propeller for this game. Let's go. So here we have Adam, ComradeK, Spiro Banzai and Tin. I am not so sure. I think Niels has left because this was so much drama, and I don't know, the guy built the warships that he requested. I'm not so sure what was the main reason for freak out. Definitely not necessary, but he preferred to do so. I think we also have Tin now in the mix. I think he's a replacement player because he should actually be in a different team. Also the other team, I'm not so sure if Yugiri and SBHBS. Oh yeah, they are in the same team. They are missing a third team member, but they will try it. There was a little bit of complaining, but then both teams agreed. Oh, a nice not bike rush. Here, that is landing some damage on a Humvee. I think they have agreed that it would be okay to try out a 4 versus 2, and if the 2 players lose this match, in the next match they get another player. So this would give a little bit of advantage to the 4 players, but in the next match they would be a 4 versus 3 instead of a 2 versus 4. So this is quite interesting. I'm not so sure. As if there will be another match, I think there is none because I don't have a replay of this. So I think this is the only match between the 2 teams. Maybe there was drama again. So the Aeons take out the bikes. That makes a lot of sense to defend with this. And the game is already with a lot of pressure. The adepts are taken out. The not bike shoots too slow. Many rockets do not land. Or does not shoot slow, but the projectiles are too slow. I think this attack will not do much. They just lose their stuff. Oh, now Red is pushing into the harvesters and potentially the base. So that's quite good with the MLRS here. We will see what happens. He's not brave enough to go in. Maybe against the prison towers it's dangerous. It's possible because I think the MLRS have a little bit more range than the prison towers, so he could try it, but it's not so easy. One step too far and you lose your units, especially when these prison towers keep on charging each other. But Red is already doing a nice amount of damage. If we look at the army values, then Red is up, Pink is also up, and the others have lost a little bit of stuff. He collected potentially a crate that took away the map view from him. How bad. To reborn experience, maybe. So that's quite a good push here. Now he sees the whole army. The A units keep doing damage. That's really, really bad. He should have taken out the Temple of Nod. Would also be a nice kill. So
troop crawler ready for assault.
But I think it's a fair match at this point. This map is by far not as advantageous for the team on the lower right as was the other map where they were 5 players and had insane amount of resource, because on this map if the 4 players run out of resources there's no real advantage anymore over the 2 players. So now the fields get scarcer and less dense. I would say this map is a bit more fair in the sense of a team that has more players does not have such a long advantage. Nonetheless, they have still complained that the other was an eco map and it was somehow unfair. Nobody understands this one. Okay, nice. Here comes some minigunners parachuting into the scenery, and I think we have now entered mid game. The early game is over of this match. We're seeing more sophisticated units. That's really interesting. He has combat Chinooks, so he's the Eagle player. It makes a lot of sense to get those things since he has the faction that is heavy with air units. Oh my god. The BG Dragon kills this building. No, it does not. So the combat Chinooks, they are great here. Oh, you should take care not lose them. They are expensive. He gets out. How nice is this? We have some Harpies coming in. We have more air units from the Scrim player. I think he should get more of the bigger and late game stuff. Oh, the minigunners, they could be dangerous for Storm Riders. Exorbis is taking out a Storm Rider. And the BG train missiles are flying towards. Oh, they took it down with the artillery. There's no anti-air. He could easily just kill all of the stuff. Maybe he will also do so. He's kiting very well. Good job. Really good job by Red. I think this is SBHBS. Yes. Yugiri has lost a lot of air units, sadly. He has no longer a valuable army, I think. But SBHS still has. I wonder for the pink player where like this 46,000 army value comes from. I can't really see this army value here. It's not so much stuff. The Orca Bomber gets frozen in time and beamed into some other sphere of reality. So now it is looking quite well for the team on bottom. They have really turned around this game at this point. Looked really bad, but now they are back in the game. But still they need to secure more resources. They need to get these two fields, I think. And they need oil derricks. But they have oil derricks, why not? That's really nice. The team on top does not have any oil derricks at all. So I'm not so sure. They still have more ore left. This basically means they will win this game if they can rebuild, make use of the ore. Or they might lose because the oil derricks are getting more and more and the bottom team secures their long-term economy. This might not help anything. Scorpion tank is not a useful unit in this situation. And the BG train keeps firing, but anti-air takes down all these missiles. The game is a little bit stalemate here at this point. Maybe both players are like, oh shit, my resources are getting empty. I need to act, I need to do something, I don't know. It keeps very interesting. But the top team is definitely building more units that are well suited for the late game. If we look at the damage being done by the players, then Spyro Banzai is now the MVP, as in contrast to Adam, he was the MVP in the other game where this team played. Oh my god, the Rift Openers, they are really good against these heavy tanks and they take out the stuff. An Eurofighter is a very good answer, it's just one, that's not enough. It can deal damage, yes, but it just gets killed by the Chinook. No, it can escape the rockets, that's really nice. So I think the guys need to engage and put pressure on them. Otherwise it is really dangerous to play against the Rift Openers. Maybe more Eurofighters, just strafe them and just kill them. That's maybe a good idea here. But somehow he's not doing that. He shoots now more on them. Don't fly too deep into the enemy airspace, that's a mistake. It's not something you should do, just get shit out of here, exactly. If you can land some missiles on the combat Chinook, that's a good idea. I would recommend doing so with the Eurofighters. The combat Chinooks are getting more and more. This, I think the players are now a bit afraid that their money will run out, so nobody is really keen to engage. The Eurofighter player is sacrificing them single by single, one by one. He should not do that, but rather have like 3 that just fly by, shoot some missiles from a distance in there, and take his punches. That's really easy with the Eurofighters. And a combat Chinook goes down, how sad. He has frenzied his unit and uses the frenzy for nothing to retreat. Build more tanks, please, is an insane advice. We will see if the guys will do that. If we take another look on the army craft, then purple, no dineros. And RT, no dineros. I think ComradeK is out of money. Who owns the Oilstorm and Tin? These are the guys, players who have the oil derricks. Oh my god, the other is taking out the air building. This is so funny. The light machine gun harpies against the heavy tanks, but they will even kill one. How impressive is that? But the combat Chinooks are like an all-around useful unit. They can win air battles, they can win against ground. They're just a bit squishy and cost a lot of money. So you really need to be careful with those units, but they can help out in many situations. Like now, they have no anti-air. He could easily move in and clear up everything. And I think that's exactly what it does. How nice is that? Same goes for these guys here, but the SAP side is very close. You need to be careful. It's cutting out and shooting, but more like this one. So the combination, having MRS taking out the anti-air SAM sites and using these guys is really good. Oh my god, the harvesters are about to be killed and I guess all of them. That's something that can completely change the course of the game. It's so much income loss here for the team at bottom. Even though they were able to defend the push, this harvester kill here, it is the end for the guys, I think. Okay, now he takes out one Chinook, he takes out the second one. No, just one Chinook, and the internet center will also be lost. How bad is that? He's running with the minigunners in, but they will be too slow. But now he flies away in panic and loses both of them. It is sad that he lost the combat Chinooks. They are really useful, really good, but he already landed insane amount of damage with those guys. I don't want to know how much it was, but he's clearly leading the destroyed category in this game, and I am very sure that it is because of the combat Chinooks. These guys, they came in and they shoot rockets on everything. There's like rocket soldiers inside, who, if you play generals, you might know this type of unit. It's very common in generals. And the game is back to a stalemate, even though I think bottom team must have a huge drop in earnings, and that's true. Adam earnings drop a lot, but red earnings as well, as all the fields are empty. He's mining. There's only this field left for the pink player, Yugiri or Kano, I think, in the game, the tournament. So that's why we have entered a stalemate again. I think everyone is afraid to do anything, as they feel like they're empty, out of money, can't do anything anymore. However, there was a nuke at this position, a nice hit. I think, from my opinion, on this game, the screen air units are an advantage here. If all players just save money, nobody moves, nobody puts pressure. The screen air units are usually the best unit then, if you just keep on building more and more and more for last and final and big showdown. So that's why you should always keep pressuring a screen player. These units only get good if there are many of them. They're high range and their dense packing makes them really strong. Here are like stealth tanks without any upgrades. That's not a good idea. Dragon tank with PDL is a great idea. He just needs more of the guys. He even stops the incoming projectiles for a short moment from the combat Chinooks. So the guys just wasted everything in here with an attack onto the main defense of this team. Really bad idea. Absolutely unnecessary. They could have just gone for a different spot and would have landed a lot more damage, I think. But they're like, they have bitten. They're now like focusing on this spot. They don't have any better ideas than to run their helicopters into the air defenses. This is another disaster engagement. I'm not so sure if the team on bottom can continue to win this game, can get out of this absolutely catastrophic engagement. And we are back to a stalemate. Combat Chinooks get out. He does a good job with them. Oh, now the rift openers keep pushing. Will we see some action again on the right side of the map? Potentially, I think so. The Combat Chinooks go over to this place. Maybe they will come for some funny hit and run into the base. That's a great idea here. The one Eurofighter cannot do much, even though if he had more Eurofighters and would strafe the guys, he could just kill them and evade the missiles. It's not so easy because it means you need good timing and understanding how these units work. But the Eurofighter is definitely a unit that can take out the Combat Chinook without much trouble. But you should not just fly straight into it, that's a bad idea.
Tear through their armor.
So there is now a mothership, and this does the Kirov style, just move in, I don't give a fuck, I just kill what I can get. Because why not? The force shield can only delay the inevitable. He loses the power plant. In principle these energizers are trash, yes. The mothership kills more stuff. I think the energizers should actually be removed from the game, I think. More stuff is killed. How great is that? You could just kill the flak at the SAM site. It's for free now. You're flying over it anyway. You cannot run away and it's dealing a lot of damage to you. Luckily, your splash damage did that already. Killing the Swiss bank is not really necessary and useful, but whatever. You should rather take out flak that's doing damage to you. I'm not so sure why he control attacks below the aircraft, because these units cannot attack air. And there goes down the mothership. The death animation is a wrong color palette. How bad is that? What a bad coder of this game. Shame on him. So the Combat Chinooks still cannot be really handled. They are fast. They have awesome damage. But the minigunners, they can shoot on them, and the rockets don't do much against the minigunners, so they are somehow a counter, but they are slow. I think SAM sites would make the most sense here. But it's looking worse and worse for the team on the bottom. The army of pink and red is getting bigger and bigger, so I'm not so sure how long they can last against this, and their army is mostly non-existent. The army craft also looks like Sprint has more and more stuff. Also the income of the Sprint player is a lot higher than everyone else. It's the only one who's still actively buying a field. I mean, the bottom team could still win in theory, but in practice it's really hard. They need to check trades now, and they need to kill the units with losing less themselves, because the top team does not have any oil derricks. So once the last field is depleted, they would win out on their huge fields of oil. But sadly, I think they will not be able to properly trade and rather lose all their stuff. And not be, they should keep pushing into these air units that cannot really fly away really slowly. That's normally the play. Don't try to chase these guys, except for like the faster aircraft. But I think they have found the way. They have figured how they can beat this. He's collecting a chest and gets $1,000. Don't pass go. So they just keep doing their like air artillery thing when the rift can open us. Pretty nice. Yeah, I don't think they can stop this anymore. It's a hopeless situation. There's just so many air units in there. And I take off the cap as it is it's not fun. It's not fun to see like how the already dead team is getting beaten. The dead corpse is beaten more and more. They're getting horribly punched on the ground. But they have lost already. It's really sad. I mean, the Oilderics are nice. They could potentially win with the Oilderics if they keep trading, but the air army of Skrin is so big. He has built stuff continuously, not stopped his push for more units. I think SBHBS has done an incredibly well job with the Combat Chinooks taking out the stuff. Now Yugiri has done more damage in the meantime, but I think that's more like buildings, and I think the Combat Chinooks took out more important units or like dangerous units. But in the end, both players have played incredibly well, especially against 4 players. A really good job. Maybe the harvesters come for the field. That's also not so smart to sacrifice the guy. But often you don't realize what shit the harvesters are doing. From my perspective, I have no idea how the team on the bottom can still win this. I think for them it's just over. I would no longer try to win it if I were them. Or maybe I would, but I would think it's not gonna work. I'm just being polite, giving a good fight until a reasonable end. But I would have no longer trust that this is looking good for us. But I would also expect that the enemies have a lot of Oilderics. I would not expect them to have just like 1. Yeah, 2. That's really, really few. But it doesn't really matter as this air armada is now dominating the game. The combat channels are not even necessary. Just, yeah, okay, there the first guy gives up, second guy gives also up. I think the game is over now. I don't think that, yeah, so there is still 2 guys in the game. The others are gone, so they have not given up but just left the game. That's great. But I think it's just over. Yeah, I think Spirubanza also left the game, so there's only 1 guy left. I'm not so sure if ComradeK is even at his computer. So the guys just do their duty, clean up the map, and I think they have won already as ComradeK is now defeated and the game ends here. So it was a pleasure to watch this game. Interesting moments were there. It's definitely shown that 2 players can win well with 4. It's not necessarily an unfair match, especially on a map like this where at the end the top team won because they managed their resources better. They had a hard time at the beginning, but then they were just pulling ahead because their units were not like trashed and just sent into certain death, but rather made good use for. So bye bye, I'm out.